Hello, heroes, and welcome to Tamriel Unchained, an Elder Scrolls Online podcast bringing you all the news you'll ever need. You'll ever need, even if you are a filthy casual like me. I am still learning to talk. So this week we got I don't want to say a lot of stuff to talk about. We've been gone last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, not a ton of information has been released, but there's some secrets that we're going to talk about. So this week we got lined up for you 4 camps. They're coming back, possibly, maybe. We don't really know. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? We're going to find out. Elder Scrolls Online Live, Episode 5, aired 2 weeks ago. There were some hidden secrets and little gems and kind of nudges towards some information that I don't think everybody really noticed. So we'll see if the other hosts noticed. Probably not. They're not all there. What else? We have Update 6 is coming soon-ish. One day. It is bigger than we think it is. It's a lot bigger. Size does matter. And also, my co-hosts are a bunch of meanies. I'll explain. They're a bunch of jerks. So since we're talking about co-hosts, that voice you just heard was Lumi the Lock.
Hi, I'm Lumi the Lock. And prepare in the Gubrock, this is a bear. Say hello, bear.
That's a cat that eats other cats.
It's not eating other cats.
All right, so we also have Engwar, who doesn't have a cat that eats cats.
Hi, I'm Engwar's younger brother. I'm stepping in for Engwar today.
You guys notice that? There's a little bit of difference that we have this week. He's hairless. So we're going to do a poll, and we want to know, does he grow it back, or does he leave it off? So, by community vote,
can I amend the poll?
Opinion.
I want to amend the poll slightly. Does he want a job or not want a job?
No, okay. So, a little bit of background here. He shaved because he went on a job interview. Now, how many people are that concerned of what people think about their facial hair? Everybody has facial hair. I mean, this is the military aspect in you. Like, that's what it is.
Well, 20 years, man, kind of tends to institutionalize you. So
it does. I'm not saying that, but you can still do an interview with you had a nice beard, man.
I had an awesome beard. I didn't want to shave it, man. I didn't want to shave it.
And now you look like a slightly older version of Ixter.
I don't know how I should take that.
Offensively.
I would say.
Okay.
All right, I think we should move on.
Enough of that.
So we've been gone for the last 2 weeks. Let's find out what you guys have been up to. So let's start off with Lumi. Lumi, what have you been up to the last 2 weeks? Has anything fun, exciting, interesting happened in your life or in Elder Scrolls Online? Preferably Elder Scrolls Online.
Well, I had quite a few good runs of PvP in there. It's one of the things that I was actually kind of bummed to hear on this live, the 4 camps coming back, because it's really brought a good dynamic, I believe, to PvP with having them gone, where we took a group in there, we probably had about 8 to 10 people, and we just had a blast and a good time. And otherwise, I had a pretty good Thanksgiving. And it actually kind of made me think of something where, well, Thanksgiving is about bringing the families and the community together. And we're a gaming community, and so it's kind of time to be thankful for the gaming communities as well that brings us together as people, because I don't think I've ever met you guys if it wasn't for these games.
True. I'm kind of upset that we met, but what about you, Engwar? what have you been up to the last 2 weeks?
Oh, that was so touching, Luby. Oh, man.
I planned it before Thanksgiving, but
No, it was good. It's good. Past 2 weeks, besides looking for a job, can't think of a thing.
All right, you have a pretty lonely life, sir. In 14 days, I have done absolutely nothing worth mentioning.
Right, I will confess, I may or may not have
ate turkey.
I ate turkey. Yeah, explored another game, maybe.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about that. This
no. No.
So
I haven't done anything. Look for a job.
I completely forgot. Last week was Thanksgiving for you guys. I mean, it's obviously the fake Thanksgiving. We all know real Thanksgiving happens in October.
Here we go.
But I'm curious to hear what you guys think, because we kind of touched on this topic pre-show, and I think it's a great opportunity to bring it up now. And I want to know what you guys think about Elder Scrolls, well, Zenimax's stance on not having traditional in-game holiday events. I mean, if we want to bring it up, World of Warcraft obviously had their Thanksgiving event, and I mean, Guild Wars has something similar. I don't know if Rift did. I don't think it did. But what do you guys think? I mean, it feels like it should be in the game, or at least some variation of it.
Well, I guess if they went digging through all of the lore and tried to find something that would be comparable or along those lines, but they're pretty hardcore about sticking to their guns. But we're not going to just make up some random holiday just to coincide with all of the other holidays that happen across the world. But I can see both sides, maybe. I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool to have something instead of, roasted guar for Thanksgiving or something, But
cool.
I guess there's just that fine line you got to walk between keeping it lore friendly or outrageously over the top sometimes, like games like WoW does. So.
Well, that's one of the things is I think that's the approach that they're kind of going for, because they did mention on in one of their posts that they did that they were basically talking about that they want to put events in there, but they want to make it lore friendly. They want to make it in the society. The only thing is, like, there is no real in-game calendar that really like says this is the date over here of what day it actually is in the calendar of this year. So it's like, really all we have to go off is our time. Like, that was actually one of the things at the start of the game that was really annoying people was werewolves and vampires only spawn at a certain time of night. And it's like, okay, what time of night, what day is it? What type of lunar cycle is it to know that is this them spawning now? You had to, like, they actually had to create an add-on so people could figure it out.
Well, I'm glad that Zenimax isn't doing the traditional thing. Like, they don't want to copy WoW, like you said. WoW is a little overdone in the sense of, I mean, it's really, really fun to do once. I mean, it's going on 10 years. I'm not saying I'm excited to go in and cook some more turkey this year.
Right.
But if they did do it and keep it to the lore, like you said, Louis, players are going to miss it because if they're not used to it. I mean, what if something happens on, I don't know, February 2? It's a Wednesday. I don't know. It's probably not a Wednesday. It'd be cool if it was, though. Nobody's going to know that. It's not a significant day. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's gonna get missed if it's not some sort of day that people have in their head already.
Yeah, that's one of the things is they could put one of these events that would correlate. Like, I remember seeing they were talking about on one of their SO Live things about like a witch hunt or something, or Witch's Eve, and that would actually have been something awesome for them to do some type of event for that with Halloween. But I remember them talking about like it was some type of actual like festival, like Witches Festival or something, that apparently was like an actual in-game like it's actually lore thing, and they were talking about it, and it was like that would have been an awesome thing to actually do something like in-game about.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess, yeah, like you said, Ryan, if they're not going to bring it in, people aren't going to miss it. And maybe one-off little things now and again, but to have the same stuff come around and around and around, year after year, yeah, that would be kind of boring enough. Especially if it's, I guess, for some of for what WoW does, like the Dark Moon Fairy, that kind of stuff, that has a currency type system to get other kind of stuff. So, people would do it once just for the oh my gosh, it's a new factor, and then it would be a waste of their coding, really, I think.
I'm glad you brought up Dark Moon Fair, because I was actually thinking Dark Moon Fair in my head. What do you guys think of having something similar to a Dark Moon Fair, where it's kind of like a carnival circus kind of thing, but it's only once every 4 months? So Daggerfall will have it in January, and then it travels to Aldemary Dominion in February, and then March it's in Ebonheart, and it comes back to Dagger. Like, it kind of makes a circle around the factions.
Right.
Like, that would be kind of cool, don't you think? It's a traveling circus.
Absolutely. That was fun.
I like the concept. It's a good concept. But there's just one flaw with that. Is there's going to be a huge outcry, because one of the things with Darkmoon Faire is both Alliance and Horde can access it basically right off the bat, well, really early on. Where if it's in one faction every 4 months, what ends up happening is, okay, if I want to go there, I have to be, I believe it's, if your EP, DC is the last one, if it's in the DC area, I have to be into the final vet area in order to access that fair. Which means that anybody on EP or AD have to go through, be vets before they can actually access that fair for that point in time. Otherwise, basically, they have to wait till it actually comes to their area if they're low level.
Okay, so, but that's like anything else in the game, though. If any player wants to, if a DC player wants to experience the EP quest, they have to level to it. Yeah, if you want to go see Skyrim, you have to level to it.
Yeah, but you're saying also it's the same fair that would be moving around. So, or they could wait the 4 additional months for it to come back to their area. But people would.
And in all honesty, I wasn't even actually thinking of allowing players to explore it in the other factions. I was just saying, if you're DC, you get it once every 4 months. If you're AD, you get it once every 4 months. But it makes sense now that you say it. It makes sense to have it in the 50++ as well.
Yeah, because I think, if you only had it in the starting zones only, then the last person on the list is going to have to wait, 12 months before
a year. It's like, yay, the fair's here.
Hey, look, there's new stuff. I have to wait until next year before I can try it out. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be kind of cool. But, if you had it just in all of the starting zones once every 4 months and not just run it on a timed schedule like every other week or something.
I just thought it would be cool because, I'm the kind of person that likes that side mundaneness. Like, I love... I used to, before it was banned in World of Warcraft, I used to run a casino. It was fun. I didn't always make a lot of money. There were days where I made a killing, but there was days where people would take all my money. But it was fun. I enjoyed that because it provided me entertainment, it provided other players entertainment. Darkmoon Faire is just the same. There's these side games that you can go and do, 100% optional. And I think Elder Scrolls has the lore and the areas to do it because there's a lot of side games that Argonians kind of do, and you see them doing it.
There is a carnival in the AD area.
Well, there's the frog racing in AD. Why can't I throw money down on that? Like, I would totally do that.
Well, I'd
be there for hours betting my money.
There's that carnival you try to help set up, I believe it's in Gratwood. When you come up that first path after you liberate that city, there's a carnival that, you try to set up and you have to help the different carnies there with different issues. You have to help a couple of them quickly the quest.
Yeah, I think it's those side things that really provide longevity to a game because you can only do questing and grinding so much. You can go play poker for 15 minutes. You'll do that 15 minutes every day maybe, and that'll break the mundaneness.
Well, that's one thing we talked about last week with the painting and the different things of bringing these small things into the game that they keep you into the game and occupied, so that when, as you're doing these things that you're just messing around, your friends come on and it's like, oh, hey, I want to run dungeons. Like, oh, yeah, apparently I'm still on, so let's go do this. It keeps the people active inside the game and helps build the community.
Yeah, time wasters.
Time wasters, exactly.
Yes.
Some people consider dailies time wasters. I consider them silly people. Dailies.
Some people consider PvP time wasters, but that's a different podcast.
Well, since you brought up PvP... And Little Me, you said you did some PvP in the last 2 weeks. So in Update 5, they secretly removed forward camps. And in ESO Live last week or week before, they said they're coming back, possibly, maybe, they don't know yet. What's your guys' opinion on this? First, how can they... Do you think it's too early for them to fully say, you know what, we've done the data, we need to have forward camps back? Because obviously, it's only been gone for 3.5, 4 weeks. It seems a little early to me, but I want to know what you guys think.
If you listen to the SO Live, there's something very specific that they say that had me interested. And it can be taken one of two interpretations as I listened to it. They said that they're looking at bringing forward camps back. And what they're doing was they're working on the radius and reducing the radius. So does that mean by that they're reducing the radius that you'll be able to put more forward camps in the same area? Which, by that thing, that would be actually worse than what was before. Or the other thing is they managed to do what they were talking about before, and they fixed it so that when you set a camp down, you can only res inside that radius. And if that's the case, and it's a smaller radius, that I would actually be like, I'll be willing to let them come back and see how that works for the overall thing, because I like the concept of forward camps. The implementation of how that they were working with blood gating and stuff like that was flawed.
No.
Well, you're good.
No. I'm currently working on a petition. In fact, I just started this idea literally 5 seconds ago to petition Zost.
But I've been working on
it from the game permanently. But I've been working on it for 4 seconds.
You have a signature.
I have 1 signature so far, and it's me. No, man.
You have 2.
Forward camps are just that was such a mechanic brought into the game to appease the whiners of, oh my gosh, Cyrodiil is so huge. I've got to get on my horse and travel. I mean, it was, come on, man. They did that. They designed the game like that from the beginning for a reason. It's called, wait for it, immersion. I'm just saying.
What? Immersion? What?
Like water?
It's a word I've never heard of before.
What is this weird word that you're talking about? I want that sense of grandness, that sense of hugeness when I'm on the battlefield. I mean, come on, they threw the forward camps in to appease the whiners. Oh, I can't get there so fast. Come on, you know that.
I completely agree. I mean, I definitely agree that they put it in there to satisfy the players that want the instant gratification. The ones that are used to, say, first-person shooters. Oh, I died. I can get right back into it in 5 seconds.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I understand that concept, but I think it's very detrimental to an MMO where the game's survivability is based on time spent in the game. I mean, you look at games like COD or Counter-Strike. They don't care how long you play. I mean, the brand new Counter-Strike, actually they do, because you can't get out of the game without losing a rank. But if you just log in for 5 minutes, they don't care. But if you log in for 5 minutes in Elder Scrolls Online, they would rather you play, obviously, longer and more frequently. And
I understand what you're going with that, Ryan, but I think what game developers nowadays need to just stick by their ideals when they start developing a game. They shouldn't be focusing on, can we keep, we're going to have to constantly change our game to just keep everybody subbing all of the time. You're going to have a niche game. Grab the niche players. Keep them around and do them right. You know what I'm saying? By holding on to what your ideals are for the game. And you're always going to have longevity in your game, no matter what. I mean, look at games like Dark Age of Camelot. They have maybe 100,000 subscribers, if that. Maybe half that.
I would be surprised if there's over 50.
Yeah. And
but
they've been
still going, though. That's
longer than World of Warcraft they've been playing. I mean, I was my first MMO. But it's what they do. They don't cater. There's no flying mounts in there. There's no tremendous. But they threw in certain expansions. And they realized it was a disaster, and they kind of pulled back from that and redirected the game a little bit. But they stayed the course, and they stuck to what the ideals that they had for the game, and they have longevity.
All right, so I'm going to throw something back at you here, because you said the company should stand by their grounds and kind of make sure they're building the game that they set out to do. And I mean, I think Mythic or Activision Mythic has done a decent job in doing that. Okay, this is what Dark Age is. This is the way Dark Age is going to be. But with Zenimax, I don't think it's a company that stands its ground or is building the game that they set out to build, because if you take a look at their history, and I'm all for Zenimax and for them for doing this, but they're a community-based game. Everything that the community has stood up and voiced an opinion against strongly has been changed. I mean, look at the vet system; it's getting changed in champion system. Look at the provisioning; it's getting changed. Look at how crafting got changed. Look how voice animations got changed. Look how combat's getting changed in update 6. I mean, these are massive overhauls to the game, all because the community went out and said, you know what, this sucks. Let's
I agree to some of those points. I agree with. I think some of those aspects, maybe like the champion system, maybe they envisioned it differently when they originally wanted to start it, but they had to work with something to get it out the door, and this is maybe what they had in mind for real. Stuff like provisioning is also one of those things that came back at them in the face, like, ooh, yeah, maybe we did kind of go overboard on that a little bit. But you know, it's just, I guess, being an old school gamer, I like games and companies that stick straight to the narrow and just like, look, this is our game. If you don't like it, don't play it. We're still going to have a following. I mean, one of the up-and-coming games that I've been watching in development is the Camelot Unchained. I mean, that guy, he's like, I am making a game. It's PvP only. There's no PvE. If you don't like it, I don't want you to play my game. Awesome. Yeah, we need more guys like you, you know. Create that niche audience, and they're going to be there, I'm telling you.
So what... I mean, you gave me a great response, but what's your opinion of Zenimax? Do you think they're doing what you want them to do? Because I mean, like you said, you want the company to stand by their goals, their ambitions, the way they want to make it. Do you think Zenimax is doing that in your view, or do you think they're doing it different, but you like it? You know what I mean?
I think they're catering to, they're caving in a little bit here and there to some of the people. I can't kind of fault them for that. They did have a pretty great challenge laid on their table. I mean, they had to meld an MMO and a widely, you know, liked single player game of the Elder Scrolls franchise. They had a huge task laid in front of them, and they're breaking new ground with what they're doing. So they're kind of like trying to find their way through this new forest that they're trying to build on this type of game that they have. So yeah, I like what they're doing. I'm a little upset on some of the things that they caved in on, yes, but
I don't really call it caving in, because the original ideas of the game is, like I was saying, that they're about the community and everything. Is like, you can see in their SO Live thing, it's very much about the community. So they're kind of, in a sense, still are sticking to their ideals by presenting it to the community. And the forward camps were in the game at the start. There was one of the things that they had talked about that they wanted to do early on. It's the concept, like I was saying earlier, the concept of forward camps, I like the ability to be able to use them, like as for a siege, like as actual thing, but not for blood gain. The implementation of them, yes, like it destroyed PvP. It was very unfunctional, and that was why I was glad to see them go.
I don't know if it was unfunctional, if it was more abused.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a functional unit.
Yeah,
people used it.
It worked as they put it in the game, but it was utilized incorrectly as they envisioned it to be worked in the game.
Yes.
And I think that's the biggest thing, is when they made this game, they had this grand scheme or grand plan for it, but when they threw it out there and made it and said, okay, well, you know what, this is cool, let's see what the players think. And I really think that's kind of what they do with a lot of their mechanics, is they have these great ideas, but they throw them out there, and
players go, let's break this.
Hit or miss is
right.
The community that kind of rounds out those rough edges and say, you know what, we'll do it this way, and they're like, hey, you know what, that's a good idea, but there you go. And I think that's great, because it gets the community involved, but it's still an Elder Scrolls game. Like, the whole theme of it is Elder Scrolls. I don't think they'll deviate from that by any means, no matter what we try and say. And the changes they have made, I think, have been for the better. Like, I don't think I can say there's been a change that completely was detrimental to the game. Can you?
No, I wouldn't say they're detrimental to the game. But, I mean, they have a huge task. They're trying to appease two sides of the gaming community. You know, the hardcore MMO players and the hardcore single player players. So trying to walk that fine line is you know, they're discovering it along with us, you know, playing it. Wow, this is a cool game. Wow, I didn't know they could really do an MMO like this and do all this kind of stuff. Like sticking by their guns and yes, we're going to have a first-person view and you're going to see your hands and you're going to see this. Oh, that was brilliant. You know, MMO players up in arms.
The community asked for was people are playing. It's like, where's first person? And like, oh, here a second. They went back onto the beta. They made it, and then they're like, well, I want to see the hands. It's like, oh, okay, just like, here, you have hands now.
Yeah.
And
but no, I mean,
since we're talking about the hands, there's they added the field of view because the community asked for it.
True.
And I mean, that's not really something that is a game changer, but the community said, hey, you know what? This game would be better with a field of view. And they said, well, all right, that's a good opinion. Here you go, try it.
It's rare for a gaming company to really sit and listen to your you know, people that pay your salary. That's awesome. Some of the advice that they're going along with, it wasn't so great, but like again, they're just trying to feel it out.
That's with like every MMO company. They walk that fine line of having to try to cater to two different sides of everything and go, how can we bring the most of you guys together so that we can all have a good time? And they're like, but I hate that guy.
Well, you said they're kind of catering to two crowds. So obviously there's the single player hardcore and then there's the MMO hardcore. But I really think ESO is... It's not designed for either one of those. I mean, I can't think of anything in this game that is MMO hardcore or single player hardcore. It's more designed for people like Engwar. I mean, I'm going to use you as the example.
Oh yeah.
You don't play this game nearly as much as I do. You don't play this game to try and min-max. You play this game for what it is and to have fun. So the game is literally designed for your group of people. Your I think I don't even know like how to say it.
Mi familia.
Yeah. And I think it's great, but they, again, like you said, they have to try and figure out, okay, well, this is what our game is, but how can we keep these hardcore players? And as of right now, I mean, I'm getting a little bored. I love the game. I think the game is great, but I've run out of things to do because I'm that hardcore person. And I mean, when I compare it to your status, everything you're doing right now, I did a month after release. I mean, that's the difference. The game is all about taking your time and enjoying everything. And I enjoyed what I went through, but I think
Did you see any of it? Did you smell it?
I think
you listened to the conversations. I mean,
it's like when I skip lunch and I go to dinner. I had a great dinner. Did I really taste it? No, but it was good.
Okay. No, I think it's great that you can't say, "Oh, yes, this is definitely an MMO," or "Yes, this is definitely a single-player game." To me, that tells me they're doing the right thing.
So let's kind of change the topic a little bit and go back to what happened in Elder Scrolls Live Episode 5. So there was a couple hidden messages in there. One, Jessica Folsom actually said in chat that Champion System is going to be launching with Update 6, which took me by... It floored me because I was like, there's no way this is ready.
Well, we were in the chat together, right? We both said to each other, did we just hear that?
Yeah, like we were like, whoa, wait. Did she just say what we think she just said? So yeah, if everything goes as planned, Update 6 will contain the next step to the champion system, which I suspect is going to be the champion points. Veteran ranks are still going to be in the game. That probably won't be...
The constellations.
Yeah, like the constellation system and all that will be in the game. Veteran ranks will still be in the game, probably until Update 7 or 8 at least. But one question that has always come up, and before we get into the champion system, the stuff that we really want to talk about, is there's been 0 solo content released lately. I mean, we know of 2 new zones that are coming out. It's what, Murkmire and Orcinium,
the
Orc City
capital.
Yeah. So we know of those 2 zones that are coming out. Murkmire is all about Argonians, and Murkmire or Mirkwood. I think it's Murkmire.
I think it's Murkmire.
Yeah. And the Orc Zone was obviously all about the orcs. So we know those 2 zones are coming out. How do you guys feel about not having any solo content? Like, do you guys really think this is a big downside to the game as it is right now? Do you think the health or population of the game would increase if there was more solo content? Like, where do you guys stand on that?
So you're not counting Craglorn as solo content?
Craglorn's group, it's designed for a group. I mean, almost everything in there is group.
I know some builds that are soloing that group stuff.
Yeah.
Not the dungeons. The mobs.
No. I'm talking out overworld, running around questing.
Yeah, running around the world you can do solo for, I would say, at least 95% of it.
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate in the Scarborough. What MMO have you seen that at max level, besides dailies, which we got with the like the crafting dailies, have you seen max level solo content really besides just once you're done with all the quests?
Guild Wars 2?
Warlords of Draenor?
Well, I mean, that's an expansion, and it took a year and a half to come out.
Yeah, the garrisons, I guess, but it's
WoW does a good job in terms of trying to keep content fresh. I mean, they release stuff probably, every 8 weeks. Zenimax is releasing stuff every 6 weeks to 8 weeks, which is great, but it's not solo content. It's not something for other players to do, and I think this is where that side content would be phenomenal. Guild Wars 2 does a great job. I mean, they are constantly pushing out some sort of event for players to do. Yeah. Lotro does a pretty good job. Rift does a pretty decent job. In all honesty, I think ZeniMax is kind of falling behind on releasing solo content or content designed for just someone to do, right, for something to do. I mean, when was the last time ZeniMax released something that you could just log in and go ahead and do, just by yourself?
Yeah, oh, it's been a long time, but I think with the champion system and the justice system and the provisioning revamp and all of this other kind of stuff, I don't see where they have the time, man. Really. And once they get all of this stuff out of the way and they kind of get the game where they kind of feel comfortable with it, yeah, sure. But every once in a while they're giving us Upper Craglorn, they're giving us City of Ash, they're giving us
they're giving us tons of other content.
Group content, sure, but solo content I would bet is going to come at the next expansion. Absolutely.
Yeah, like a 2.0 kind of thing? Or
yeah, absolutely. It's going to be like
patch?
Yeah, it'll be a 2.0 straight up.
I'm going to play devil's advocate again in the fact of, we were discussing this earlier with, ZOS has been very focused upon the community, that this entire thing is about the community. Do you think maybe that's why they keep on focusing right now on a lot of group content, is they want people to interact with each other and continue to try to build up community inside the different factions and different things, where that's why they've been pushing more group content than they've been pushing solo, is they want people to focus on the community overall.
I guess, but I kind of view all of the latest group content that they've been pushing a little differently, because I think they're trying to kind of compensate for the really crappy grouping mechanic that came out with the game at launch. So they're kind of, so they're kind of like, oh, we're sorry, guys. Here's a bunch of group content. We really apologize. That's how I kind of view it, but I could be wrong.
Now, just for the record, though, there is a patch coming out, I believe, on Monday that should fix the LFG problem. Oops. Let's ignore that.
And then you break something, so I think
it didn't break. Let's just ignore it happened.
You just jinxed.
Broke the mirror. 7 years bad luck.
So I don't know. I got nothing. So
it's all speculation.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
The reason I asked that question, though, was about the solo content is because, like I said, ZeniMax or Elder Scrolls Online seems to be that casual, play at your own kind of pace. But it feels like, at least to me, and this is probably the hardcore elitist in me, it just seems like people are going to start running out of content before the new stuff comes out.
Yes, you will.
Engwar has tons of content to go.
I've got lots of time.
Garbrock, it's called building an alt and doing something unique with it.
All right, so let's go back and talk about some of these secrets that happened in ESO Live, episode 5, right? Yeah. So they said champion system's going to be coming out in Update 6. Update 6 is also going to contain the provisioning revamp, which is huge. Update 6 is also going to have animation combat changes. Oh, yeah. Nobody knew about that one, right? Nobody knew about that one. I did. I knew about that one. And the collector system, I think, is a huge one that is being understated and unpublished and uncriticized. It's going to be huge. It's going to
costumes
revolutionize the way we play the game, mainly because we actually going to have inventory space. What's your guys' before we talk about all the meat and potato stuff, what's your guys' first thing that comes to mind when you think Update 6 and you're really excited for? So let's start with Lumi. What is really drawing you to Update 6?
Well, I'm really interested to see how the champion system is going to change a lot of the dynamics of things. Because I believe it was actually Engwar who brought up earlier and stuff when we were discussing in the pre-show, I think, about why wasn't the justice system out first. And I'm wondering if, because there's the constellations that around the loop, if there'll be something that will actually tie in further, like later on, along maybe the thief constellation towards the justice system, the things that go along there. So I'm really interested to see, like, I want, like, when the PTS goes live, I'm going to be hopping on there. I'm going to actually probably just sit down and just look at each and every single constellation, the little paths that they can go along to see what, like, the different abilities. Because I remember QuakeCon, they were talking about, like, if you go down this certain line, you have a chance for being able to get more gold from chests, get better items from chests, be able to pick them easier. There's like these little fluff things down the lines that you can eventually get, which I would be really interested to see what they're going to be doing with those, because they're supposed to change how each player essentially plays.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I'm really looking forward to a full respec and not having to drop 10,000 gold. That gets me so excited.
I could care less about everything else. Just give me that respec.
Just give me the free respec, man. That's all I need right now. No, yeah, the champion system's got me so excited. I cannot wait, man. That is really, really going to dive my teeth into that. And like Louis said, just go over those constellations. And you do have to go in order. You spend a point in the warrior, then you got to spend a point in the mage, you got to spend a point in the thief, you got to go in a circle.
Yeah, health, magic, stamina.
Right. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to make some tough decisions.
That's a misconception there, Lumi. It isn't health, magic, and stamina. You can, even as a tank, the mage is going to have tanky aspects. The thief is going to have tanky aspects. They're all going to have something that obviously goes together. It's like the warrior is going to have DPS aspects for a caster. It doesn't make sense, and sort of it does. But it's to make sure that everything is useful to a player. So it's not health, magic, and stamina. Like, if you go to a thief, that means, oh, you're playing a roguey character. No, not necessarily.
Well, no, I meant like kind of like what you're saying, where like the health I meant was, okay, this is going to be more of tanking abilities along the thing, maybe more makes you more sturdy or different things, shielding. The magic gives you more offensive abilities, maybe if you're playing a mage, and maybe the stamina would give you more evasive abilities and the different things for as you're playing that character. It's one of the things that a lot of the stuff we don't know what's actually there. Like we need to get in there and be able to see and go, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that.
I do like the concept though of kind of locking people into specific armor. You know, if you're gonna wear heavy, you're gonna have to wear heavy. If you want to wear medium, you're gonna wear medium, and get rid of this whole mixing.
Hey, look at me! I'm a tank in light armor. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really? Come on. You know.
Well, Nightblade swords. Nightblade tanks are really effective. They're heavy armor.
They can be, but this is the issue. Being effective is one thing. Being better than someone in full plate mail with all this armor is totally different. That should not, like, if I'm wearing full plate and I have this big ass shield, I should be able to take more damage than this guy in cloth. I don't care what abilities he has, straight up damage reduction, I should win.
Agree with you 100% on that, man. Like such a joke.
And that's what the champion system's going to do. Like, just so everybody knows, the champion system is going to force people back into those roles. If you're a tank, you can still be a tank in light armor. Are you going to be as good as someone in full heavy armor? No, not a chance. But if you want to play as a tank in light armor, go ahead. I mean,
we call those
be pulled into the
tanks.
hardcore groups? No, you'll be pointed at and laughed at.
Yeah, we call those off tanks.
Yeah, they're the ones that just show up on when we go to the farm.
No, yeah, I
Hi
mean,
guys, I'm here.
There is so much from Update 6 that I am excited about. The provisioning, oh my gosh, don't even get me started on the provisioning, because as a crafter, that is like heaven sent. The consolidated UI for all of my collectibles and my mounts and stuff.
Oh my
Costume.
God.
Oh, finally be able to actually, like, I'm going to actually re-roll a whole character so I can just put all these costumes in there, because I've been actually having to make room by chucking a lot of them. I'm like,
and I'm pretty sure on this, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but with the collection system, it's all count bound. So all my pets on one guy, I can play on my other ones. All the mounts I can use on my other one.
I believe so, and that's one of the things that I'm throwing this out for speculation. There's going to be a new mount as well in patch 6 that may be tied to one of the constellations that you can pick up, because
Sparkle Pony?
Yes, Sparkle Pony. But
Sorry, I had to go there. I had to go there. Sorry.
But it'd be awesome, like you're saying, if the mounts are tied across bound, plus like the costumes are tied account bound, maybe I could actually finally like maybe put my Emperor armor from my Sork onto my Nightblade, which is the one I'm mostly PvPing on now. So I can basically go, hey, yeah, I was the Emperor at one time. Or I could take some of these costumes that are maybe like unique, and I can use them on other characters that may not have them. Or like have my what is it? The one you get for VR10, Manamarco's armor. Have it on my level 1 character coming out. That'd be awesome, being able to wear that costume like all the way through leveling.
Man, I'll just be glad to start deleting mules. Because I've got half of my character slots are just mules. And having to log into each one of them and making sure I got pull this. Okay, now I need to make some food stuff. Okay, I got to log into that guy. Give some stuff to the bank. Oh, it's just a nightmare, man.
Well, the worst part is when you log into your mule and you got to be like, okay, well, I got to put this into the bank. And you're like, okay, what do I take out of my bank? My inventory's full.
I got to log in another mule to pull that stuff out. Yeah. I'm with you.
You start playing that game. That game sucks.
I'm there. I even named my
slots,
mules.
and the bank slots are expensive.
I even named my mules. I got a merchant, apothecary, what I call them, a grill master, and a vault. So those are the names of my mules. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I totally lost it because I got distracted. But we do have a Twitter question. We have a Twitter question. It's a good one too.
Sweet.
It's a good one. So, Murky McDurphy. I love that name though. Murky McDurphy.
Awesome. Murky McDurphy.
It's awesome. So, do you think that Zoss is ever going to let us do something with trophy items? I'm sick of them. I'm uselessly taking up my bag space. Collector system!
Murphy, I totally freaking hope so. Yeah, collector system.
But yeah, we got like there's all these fishes that like are say trophies or different things, and maybe hopefully it'll be in the collection system for also those other things. But there's also like these random fish you catch that's like trophy. I'm like, okay, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
Well, I love the trophy items. I love the fact that they can change your visual of the game. Like you can have I mean, they serve absolutely no purpose other than a visual aspect of the game. I mean, ooh, look, I got a giant blue beam on me. Yeah. I mean, it's fun to do every once in a while. Especially
there's the one that you pound in the thing going, "Let me out!"
Yeah, I mean, they're fun, but they serve no purpose. And I think what I would like to see trophies do, and to answer McDurphy's question, I'm pretty sure that the collector system has a section for trophies. What I would like the trophy system to be more like is cosmetic items like World of Warcraft. And I hate bringing up World of Warcraft because I despise the game. I loathe it. But they do so much unique stuff that not many games do. I mean, they have a completely useless fiery wings. I mean, it's really cool to walk around with fiery wings. It's 100% visual. It means absolutely nothing to your character, but it looks cool.
It appeases the ADD in you, right?
It does. It gives me something to do because, I mean, I'll log in. I don't log in now, but I used to log in and be like, I'm going to go fishing for a turtle today. Mind-numbingly boring, but guess what? I have a turtle. Yeah.
I got mine with fishing up raid mats.
But that's...
As long as they don't take this too far out of hand like WoW has, I'll be cool.
Oh, I agree. I mean, WoW's gone to, like, there's the sand, there's the normal, there's insanity, and then there's, like, World of Warcraft. Like, it's... like, it's up there, man. It's...
Pretty much.
You have no idea. Okay, the whole... I run a small... Well, I used to run a small guild. We had, like, 15 people, but we were running hardcore raids, 10 mans. And to try and get that stupid Northrend fishing thing, where you
oh my god, that was a nightmare.
It's like 100,000 fish or something like that. It was ridiculous. If you have a guild of 100 people, it's easy. But with 15, do you know how long that takes?
I got a question for you
guys. That's
guys.
my rant for that.
Okay.
This just came to me.
Oh, God.
We were talking about the collections, and we saw when they showed up on the stream, the mount section. All right, if mounts are cross-bound, I've already bought, I think 3 of my characters now, a couple of the max horses. So I've blown over 200,000 gold, probably.
No, you're not getting reimbursed, Lumi.
Well,
you're not getting the money back.
I really hope they don't.
No, there's that people are going to ask that, but that was actually what I was going for. Is it just going to, like, are you going to have all those mounts then? And stuff like there's multiple types? Like, if you had gone...
It'll probably do a filter check when it puts it in. It probably won't allow redundant.
Yeah. And so then you have to maybe buy more bank space, stable spaces in order to access, if you originally only had room for 1, but your other character had 2. But now you have access. It's one of the things that, what's going to happen to the stables at that point, you'll have to look at.
Well, like I said, I don't know. Well, I don't know if it is a cross count, but the whole stable aspect is going to be gone because it's going to be in a UI window now. So you just click on whatever tab or whatever button it's going to be. We'll say P.
Maybe the stable is your UI. You carry the horses in your backpack.
In your pocket.
So let's get back on topic because this whole episode has been derailed, but it's been fun. So with update 6, one of the aspects that really hasn't seen much light is the whole combat animations. I mean, they're I don't want to say completely changing, but they're being revamped to get more, here's that word again, immersion into the game. And I mean, so a big example, and the one that we got to see at the Guild Summit, is dual wielding. Right now, attacking with dual wields really visually doesn't feel much different than having sword and board, other than the fact you have a shield.
Yeah.
With dual wielding, your attack should be a whole lot faster than a two-handed weapon. Like you should be like just giving her, and that's what you're going to be doing in update 6. You're just be freaking poking people like crazy, and it's going to be fun. And there's going to be flair. I get excited. I like dual wielding, stabbing people.
Oh yeah, it does sound cool.
And there's gonna be flair. So like one of the demos they showed us was he did like the slash across and then like spun the sword in his hand and came back up with it. It looked really cool, but it's like a fraction of a second. so many people are going to be like, oh, well, nothing changed. But it's there. It's really there. And it makes the game so much better.
It's one of those little fluff things, just like the field of view, where it's like a lot of people like. I'm sorry to say, I was one of them where I was like, okay. I'm just gonna continue playing the way I was. But I know a lot of people are like,
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's eye candy. That's what it is. It's eye candy. And people enjoy eye candy.
It is, but it makes it more fluid. I mean, if your robot's just going like this, I mean, that's not very fun. Having that added flair, even though you're probably not going to notice it, it makes the combat visually seem smoother. Because it gives a realistic aspect to it. And I've said it before, to get true immersion into a video game, you have to tie it back to something the player realizes or would see in real-life environments. I mean, if I can tie a game to real-life things, that's where my immersion comes from. Right? If I'm playing a game where I'm jumping incredibly high and I'm just like, okay, well, that just makes no sense. Why am I jumping so high? That breaks my immersion. As soon as I question something, it might not jump. That's right. As soon as you question something, it's just like, death. All right, let's get back on topic now. Because, yeah. Do you guys have anything else about Update 6?
Yeah, tell us, oh great genie with your magic crystal ball, when is it coming out?
Fuck, I wish I knew.
That's my question.
Dude, if I knew that, I would sell that information.
No, there's a question that's more dire that people there's been a lot of people in the NASA community that have been wondering this question, oh genie. Console release.
It's not going to come out anytime soon.
Well, the thing is, people have been speculating that Champion system is being put out right now so they can get prepared for console release.
Definitely.
And so you guys think that's true as well? Because they would want to launch it with the console?
Absolutely. I think you got to have the champion system established and in place before you're going to go live with the console. Because then you're looking at a huge, massive backwards update. You're going to have to go onto the console. Nightmare. So they want it hashed out on PC before they're going to release a console. Absolutely. So next year. It'll be next year.
It'll be next year. I'm guessing probably around April-ish.
December 31st.
Well, what's your prediction? Let's get our predictions for Update 6 going to the PTS.
Going to the PTS?
Going to the PTS.
Next week.
Merry Christmas or no?
I'm going to say it's the PTS will probably be this month. I mean, what's the date today? It'll probably be this month for the PTS.
I'm saying next week.
Next week?
I'm saying next week. That's my guess.
I don't know about next week.
The only reason that could be possible, and I'm not saying you're wrong, Lumi, but they didn't do an update this week. They didn't do maintenance. Typically, when they don't do maintenance, they push something to somewhere.
And they said in one of their posts that they're working on the PTS thing. They put up a patch in there. They're like, no, this isn't Update 6, but Update 6 will be soon. And so that made me think that possibly next week they will be doing Update 6 on the PTS.
I'm calling 2 weeks. That's
what I'm thinking. Let me pull up the calendar here.
So what if I'm right?
I'm thinking
a golf clap.
15th or the 22nd. I'm thinking the 15th because I'm thinking the week of Christmas they're not even going to be at the office.
The holidays, man.
I wouldn't expect them to be.
They'll be gone.
Okay, guys, it's Christmas Eve. Let's go ahead and pump out for the PTS.
Yeah, let's push this major update the day before Christmas.
Mom, I know I was supposed to be there for the turkey, but I've got a lot.
Come on, we're gonna be here on Christmas Eve, right? Doing the podcast.
Wait, what? Oh, son of a bitch, that is a Wednesday.
Yeah, I just looked at that.
I'm gonna tell everyone right now, there's probably no podcast on that Wednesday.
I might dress up as Santa.
Let's see. There's ESO. Oh, and ESO Live is on the 19th as well. So it's the week after that. Oh man.
Well, then also New Year's Eve is the week after that. So I
don't know. Right. That's good. It's hard. We'll see. We'll see who's here and who's sober.
But I'm calling 2 weeks.
I don't think so.
I would be willing to bet by end of January, probably live.
I don't know about that.
And end of January, beginning of February for it. That's what I'm thinking.
I see at least a month on the PTS.
It's too big to not be tested.
Big enough. It's going to need a month on the PTS.
I'm going to say, if anything, for going live, this is my guess, mid to late February.
You think that far ahead, eh?
I'm shooting for a bit further back because, well, there's so much complexity to the system with how the champion system works intricately that they're saying with everything, plus all the other systems that they're bringing into the thing. Like, if I remember correctly, they also talked about something that they were looking at for in PvP, some type of thing that they're working on the entire back end that was supposed to like help eliminate the lag and latency on a huge time. Like, I think I remember them mentioning something about that. Like, it was something, it wasn't anything like we would see. It was something technologically on their back end that with the next patch would change a lot of the things for making like latency and stuff like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just want to remember them talking something about it.
I don't know.
All right, so we got our predictions for update 6. What's our predictions for console? Engwar, you said not until after champion system, which I
it'll be after champion system. Yeah, I mean,
they're not going to push. I mean, so what do we know about consoles right now? We know, okay, anybody who's bought The Elder Scrolls Online will be able to go to consoles for free. They're going to port your character for free as long as you buy the game. They're not going to push. What?
Wow, that's cool.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, if you buy the game and you plan to go to consoles, they'll port your character for free. So you'll be able to go and play on the PS4, Xbox One with your VR14 character or... Well,
that is a brilliant move. Holy
it's
cow.
huge.
It's one of the things when they pushed it back, that's one of the things that they're like, we're pushing it back further. I don't think they put did they put a exact date?
They said 6 months.
Yeah, which it
Was
times
this
up. So basically, it's like they push it back further. They go, we want you guys to enjoy the game now. We have to push it back further, and they may push it back again. But I believe they're still going to hold up that end of their bargain. That's one of the things is, people like, oh, they're just going to cancel console because they've made this offer. It would be really bad on their part to actually cancel it right now. Login screen.
You forgot to jump, Engwar.
Doesn't like me, man.
Yeah, like the console market, it's too big for them to just forget about. I mean, if you look at the history of the Elder Scrolls, they sell more on consoles than they do on PC. And I mean, a lot of people are going to argue that they're going to say, well, you can't. There's no way to prove it. But I'm more than certain console has a larger share in the Elder Scrolls franchise than PC ever does, except for right now with the Elder Scrolls Online. So to not throw out consoles would be detrimental to them as a company.
Yeah.
It's less work for them because they don't have to worry about API. So that's a large portion of bug control they don't have to worry about. And it's all about money. As much as people don't want to think about it, Zenimax is out to make money. And it's easy money for them if they do. With how easy it is to push PC games to consoles now because of the hardware that's on them and the operating system that's on them, they're becoming more and more PC oriented than they ever were. So to port a game is a lot easier. And if you look at the Elder Scrolls Online, it's already designed for a console. Some commands have to be changed, a few buttons, but it works pretty good on a controller. So.
You think the tech will ever be around or get there to the point where we can all be one happy family and play together?
Well, if Sony and Microsoft will get along, yeah. But with the
let's just throw that idea out the window.
With the push of the Steam box, though, I don't see why. I actually foresee if Microsoft and PlayStation don't get along, I actually foresee them going out of business in terms of consoles. Because the Steam box is so powerful, it is so easy to make and so cheap, and it does everything a PC can do. And it's a home theater entertainment system. Like I really don't see PlayStation and Xboxes unless they, like I said, they start merging and becoming part of a family. They're gonna die out because PC Master Race is gonna win it.
Right.
Oh, you're starting that debate? the war of PC Master Race.
I will. Like I hate to say it, but in terms of trying to create massive games, PCs have it. I mean, and there was this large debate about how this is totally off topic and not even Elder Scrolls related, but people have this assumption: oh, online games are dying. Blah blah blah. Online games aren't dying. Everything is going online. They're just becoming bigger.
They're morphing in how they're online. Like
your perception of what an online game
is changing.
Is changing.
Yes, everything is going to be pushed online. One, because it prevents piracy. Like it's a huge thing, and two, it's a lot easier for the developers to control what is happening in their game. And I mean, take a look at how they're evolving from. Anybody remember when first-person shooter games were like 8 people? And now they jumped up to 16, 32, 64?
Counter-Strike.
That's huge. So everything's being pushed online. This whole, oh, well, we're getting rid of online games. No, everything is getting pushed online. Communities, I mean, and like I said, if Microsoft and Sony want to be part of this, they need to be able to converge and say, you know what? Let's just play on the same stuff. Like, it makes no sense. Why not? And if that ever happened, Elder Scrolls will go right through the roof. I mean, that'd be awesome for them. if Sony, PlayStation, and Xbox, Elder Scrolls Online could play together with PC, that would be so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah,
I would love it. It'd be huge.
Agreed.
All right, so let's go to our last topic. Because my throat's starting to get a little sore. All this excitement. Yeah. So when I introed the show today, I said my co-hosts are a bunch of meanies. And they are. They're a bunch of douchebags. The reason I say this is because I'm doing an Iron Man challenge, and I'll explain that in a second. The whole point of the Iron Man challenge.
You are calling me out on live stream.
Yes, I am. So, the whole point of the Iron Man challenge is basically to level from 1 to VR14 without dying. So my douchebags of a host decided it'd be hilarious to find out where I am because they're watching the stream and chain all these mobs to me. But the thing is, as long as I don't hit those mobs,
you're so mean, Lumi. Why would you do that? That's horrible.
Hit those mobs, they're gonna kill him. And I watched Engwar die. It was awesome. So yeah, they're a bunch of jerks. So Engwar, would you like to talk about this Iron Man challenge?
How are you doing?
I'm gonna drink some water while you do this.
How high are you on that one, by the way?
My second character, because my first one died. I'm not gonna say what level.
That was me.
No, it wasn't you. It's my stupidity, and I apparently don't know how to play that class. But right now, I am level 9 3/4. And so the whole rule for the Iron Man challenge is to level from 1 to 14 and
VR14.
VR14. You can't die. You can only use the gear you pick up, so there's no one's able to craft gear for you. You can't change your enchants. You can only use white food, so vendor food. You can't group, so you can't get help from anybody. You can't PvP group, so you can't go into PvP and get group. You can go PvP solo if you want, but if you die, you have to delete the character and start over. That's the whole point of the Iron Man challenge. And it's extremely fun. Like I said earlier,
repeat that last line again.
It's extremely fun.
No, before that. If you die,
you have to delete the character and start over.
That's my favorite part of that.
Yeah.
So, Garbarok, you want to run a dungeon afterwards? I'll run you through.
No, I can't group, remember?
It'll be a public dungeon. Trust me, you'll be fine.
I think I commend you on what you're trying to do. I think you're insane.
And I will take the challenge as well.
I want to. Would you take the challenge, Engwar? Would you try to do the challenge? Or are you just like, no, you know what? That's
can we lower the level cap maybe a little bit, because I don't think.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't have VR14.
VR14.
I don't even have a VR14 yet. Anyway.
Well, should we go to? How about level?
I mean, Do you
VR1.
understand how outrageously hard that would be for me as a casual player?
How about
Holy
VR1?
cow.
Like, we make it through the entire zone that we pick.
How
If you
about like
want to
level 20?
If you can make it to 20, sure. You can try to level 20.
I want a pig. If I make it to 20.
I can't give you a pig.
Oh. All right. Well, then
I don't have
want...
any extra codes.
No, that's fine. I want...
But I can give you 50% off the ESO store. So if you want that Palomino horse, you can get it for $10.
Okay. I'll tell you what. If I do the Iron Man challenge from level 1 to 50,
Okay.
by your rules...
If you do it, I will buy you a plushie.
Ooh. I'm doing it.
I was going to request
plushie.
you shave your goatee, but the plushie...
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, I'll do the plushie before I shave my goatee. Dude, I look like a little boy if I shave.
Should I shave for next week?
You have facial hair?
1 to 50, huh?
Yeah, 1 to 50. Well, for you, 1 to 50, because you don't have the skills to go past that.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
that's fired. That's fired.
Cut me deep, man.
You want to know what's going to be a pain in the butt?
What's that?
The Moloch ball fight, if you don't do it right.
I don't see. I
The
don't.
Manny Marco fight, those ones are always kind of a pain.
The Manny Marco Harborage fight? Yes.
Yes.
Do we have to do the storyline?
I'm not. Fuck that.
Oh, good. I just thought of that. I was like, wait a minute. There's some fights in the storyline. There's no way I'm going to be able to do.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not doing the storylines now because they level with you. Before, I would have said, sure, I'll do them.
But here's the thing. If you're going to VR 14, in order to get to the next VR level, you have to go through the storyline.
No,
It's
you
through
don't. You
Cadwell.
do. You have to get Codwell. But they should only level up to level 50. I don't think they'll go to VRs.
So you're going to like try to level up in Cold Harbor to VR like 5 and then go back and do them?
Son of a bitch. I'm going to think about
Okay.
that.
The champion system will be in place by then. It won't matter.
Champion system, the justice system, the Dark Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, the fourth expansion to the game. Yeah, all that will be released by the time you even get to 50.
And what's going to happen is
Well, I'm not worried
Engwar's like,
about
I'm almost there.
So
And
in
they
order
go,
for
2 more
Engwar to get
levels.
this, for Engwar to get this plushie, we have to stipulate at least one rule. How many deaths is he allowed? So,
Oh, what?
because he could do this for like years and be like, I just want my plushie. How many character run-throughs is he allowed to have?
You're going to quit the game. I'm going to call you up. Ryan, I beat it.
I did
Throw me a plushie.
it! Where's my plushie?
No, I can do it, man. I can do it. It won't take that long.
I don't. It's difficult. I mean, I played for 3 hours today, and I'm not even level 10 yet. I died once, so I had to start over. Stupid Nightblade.
I'm actually going to take up the challenge as a Nightblade.
Dude, you're gonna die. Okay, if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna tell you right off the bat: do not skip the beginning tutorial.
Oh, I wasn't planning on it.
Because that's what killed me. I skipped it, went back to the beginning lands, like the starter zones.
Are you talking
But
about
here-
breaking out of prison? Don't skip the
Yeah,
prison?
no, do it because you can actually pick up some gear to actually
Yeah, I
wear.
was going to say you pick up some gear.
Because when I skipped it the first character and I went back to the beginning zones, but all I had was a weapon and my soul shriven crap on, and Codwell's chest piece, which is complete crap. But I got 3 quests in and I died. Yeah. I got waffles. Like, it was horrible. You
know how to play Nightblade? Because I have a VR 14 Nightblade.
Oh, I have a VR 13 Nightblade. They're good classes. They're really good classes. But to do it in the Iron Man challenge where you can only use picked up gear, it's hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, the original challenge that was written up was you could only use white gear, and I was like, fuck that noise. Oh, whoops. F that noise. I didn't swear.
Yeah, I talked you out of that one. I told you was crazy.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. Using only white gear, I would probably pull my hair out because I would die a lot.
Well, that's one of the things was I was actually thinking of us with the challenges. Like, you could do the Iron Man challenge and then also take up Esso's thing of, all right, you said it takes this many mud crabs to get to VR10. Let's start. Just start killing mud crabs. It's like
that's the mud crab challenge.
And they're just like, really? You did all that? It's like, yep.
We should. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll level up killing strictly mud crabs. I'll make an add-on that will count how many mud crabs I've killed. The only thing I would need help with is finding the areas for the mud crabs because they would have to be level appropriate.
Well, that's one of the things is that's one of the thoughts that always occurred to me when they put out the statistic is for that statistic, is it basically based off the areas and stuff? Like, are you always pushing like the highest thing, or is it like you wait a bit and then you move on? That was one of the things that you always had to question for them. But
all right, guys, I think we've talked everything that we can talk about. We went off track a few times, which is
happens. It happens.
It happens. We had a good show. We talked about Update 6, which is huge, and I don't think people realize how big this update is going to be. It's it's at least 2 updates in one, easily.
Yeah.
So let's go around the table.
Notes on it.
What's that?
I'm gonna hate to see the patch notes on that sucker.
Oh, yeah. It's So let's go around the table, do our shameless plugs, and we'll sign off for the week. So what's your shamelessness this week, Louie?
My shamelessness. Well, I'm usually almost always shameless, but I'm Louie the Lock, GM for GameBreaker Nation and Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm sorry that I couldn't wish you guys. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving because I couldn't wish you guys to have a happy Thanksgiving last week. But like I said earlier and stuff, it's nice to be able to be a part of these communities that we can still bring together and be thankful for these as well and stuff. To hang out with friends like Garbruk and Engwar here and do these things. Back to you, Garbruk.
Not to me, to Engwar. Engwar, show us your shamelessness.
Oh, you get me every time, Louie. That's so nice. Well, you know me. You can catch me on Twitter and Twitch at Engwar forever, and that's EVR, not EVER, because I'm unique.
That's not your Twitch.
Oh, I got a new Twitch. I finally got my name. Okay, so backstory. You're right. Thank you. Oh my God, my new Twitch is just Engwar. I hunted down the guy who had Engwar account, and I said, please, can I have this account? He was like, yeah, I don't use it. Whatever. Here you go.
So end of story.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
It's just like, yeah, okay, done.
All right, man. That man can tell a story.
I don't have any confetti in my pocket. I throw it.
Just like, what'd you do for the past 2 weeks? Nothing.
All right, guys. I'm Garbruk. You can follow me on Twitter at Garbruk. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Garbruk. That's it. That's all I got. So we had a great episode. A couple things I just want to do a quick wrap up. One, we're doing a community vote on if Engwar should grow his beard back. And through job interviews, I want to look like a badass instead of Dexter's brother.
Can I go for like mustache handlebars?
Dude, if you can pull with wax, can you pull that off?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 weeks from now, and the whole episode, I just want to see you just like,
yeah.
So I think that's all we had for community votes was if Engwar should grow it back. We have the Iron Man challenge. So if you think you're brave enough, hit up the Iron Man challenge. Level a character from level 1 to vet 14 without dying, wearing only drop gear and no help from outside. So that also includes buffs, so no Mundus stones.
Well, wouldn't it be drop and quest gear, or can you not take?
Yeah, well, quest gear counts as.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that was that stipulation.
Yeah. Other than that, guys, thanks for coming out and enjoying the show, listening to the show on iTunes or watching it on YouTube. As always, if you are looking for a deal, head on over to gamebreaker.tv/deal and get yourself a coupon, or not really a coupon, more of a discount code on a game of your choice that we have listed.
I think there's one on Dragon Age Inquisition right now, which is really good.
Yes, if there is one, pick that game up.
Yeah,
And
there's
pick a
one.
copy up for me too, please.
Check it out.
Anyways, later everyone. Thanks for coming out. I really
See you
appreciate
guys.
it.
Have a good one.
Peace.